Hello guys, Julian here, not SadPanda today. I'm not going to make an fail attempt at comedy. It's for something a little bit different that I won't be doing like a lot. It's really a special occasion because I think like a week or two ago we had a really good gaming week in terms of game release. The game I'm going to talk about, if you didn't figure it out by the title yet, is Portal 2 and Mortal Kombat. This video being about Portal 2. I called it a casual gamer view on those games because basically I love video games, but they don't love me that much, i.e. I suck at them. I'm more the type of guy that would play a video game for like an hour max because I don't know, I'm not a hardcore gamer in any sense and I'm not really good at them, but I enjoy playing them. And I thought it would be interesting to have a point of view of someone who is not a hardcore gamer, because on the website, especially on Blister Sims now, you get a lot of guys that review games like every week because they can play it through the game really fast, they're good at them, and their opinion is still good and legit, but it does not appeal, in my sense, to every gamer. So really what I'm going to do here is tell my experience as a casual gamer point of view, and especially for Portal 2, because it's really been a weird thing for Portal 2. First off, the game's reviewer gave it really good scores. Even Bennett, I think, enjoyed the game, but he was able to give some flaws, because so far I went to a lot of professional video gaming websites such as videogames.com, it's jeuxvideo.com in French, and they give it a good score without telling much of the flaws, and it's the same for like IGN or other websites like that. And I'm really interested to see a game reviewer giving it a bad opinion, because I didn't see that yet, and I really want to discuss that with people who didn't like the game, because so far when I go to a video game website and the reviewer give it a good score, I love to read the comments for usual gamer like me, you know, people that have to pay for the game and play it and maybe are not as hardcore gamer as a reviewer, and give it a counter opinion. It's always interesting to read. But the weird thing about Portal 2, especially on that French website, is either that people gave it a 20 out of 20 rating, saying it's the greatest game ever since Jesus surfing on butter, and the other players that don't like the game gave it 1 or 2, basically saying it's the worst game that it was ever created, which to me is not a good argument. I'm going to try to remember. I'm not going to be interested about the people who gave it a perfect score or say it's the greatest game ever, because frankly it's not interesting to read, because personally I enjoyed the game, but I'm going to go back on that. I'm really interested to have a discussion with you guys in the comment section about if you didn't like the game. I mean, that's okay. I'm not here to tell you, no, you're wrong, the game is great. I really want to have a good argument of why you didn't like the game. So I think the top 5 of argument of people who didn't like the game, some of them were pretty weak, and I'm going to tell you which one were like that. The first one that came more often is about the DLCs. I know they're going to release new maps for free apparently, so that's cool. But right now there's some DLCs. It's more about to download skins for the bots, you know, Peabody and Atlas. And I agree on that. Those DLCs are bullshit. If you're not a hardcore fan of the game, there's no point of buying them, but that's the thing. You don't have to buy them. It's not like they tell you at the release of the game, we have new maps, a new story mode, and you have to pay for it. No, it's just skins. Something that is completely useless to the game. So if you don't want to buy them, you don't miss at all on the experience. So it's really a bullshit argument to say the game is not good, but I have to agree on the price, because I think you can buy glasses for the robots, useless, and it was like €7. I was like, dude. And the other one are like €1, but it's too expensive. I'm not going to buy those DLCs because it's pointless. It had nothing to the game, but it has nothing to the game. I mean, I can play the game and fully enjoyed it without buying that, so it's a bad argument to just say that. The second one was, the game is short. It is. I mean, the single player mode, I beat it in like 6 hours, but I was discussing with a friend and it took him like 9 hours to beat it. So I mean, the difficulty of the game really depends on you and how you play the game. I mean, I was in a total Portal mode when I played it. When I started the game, I had to remember what I was doing in the first Portal. And with that, I was able to avoid most of the big problem of the game. So I enjoyed it. And to say 6 hours is short, it's something I really see a lot, saying the game is only 6 hours. It's not true. I mean, a game is not only based on a single story mode. You can just say, oh, I beat it in 6 hours, so the game is short. No. Because, for example, one of the best-selling game of the recent year was Modern Warfare 2 or 1. The story mode is only 4 hours long, 6 maybe. But as of today, people keep playing it. So I'm not even going to say I don't want to buy Call of Duty because the story mode is only 4 hours, because I know people keep on playing it on the multiplayer or sometimes restart the story mode. A game should not be judged on one mode of the main mode, but how long you will be replaying it. And for me that was that, because people said it's only 6 hours, too short. Okay, I beat the game twice, so it's already 12 hours, well 10 hours, because the second time I beat it in 4 hours. But because I really wanted to play the game again, to have more of the dialogues, which I really enjoyed. I understand some people didn't enjoy the dialogues, that's okay. For me it works, so it made me want to play the game again. So the game went from 6 to 10 hours. Then I spent some time in the commentary because I was curious to know what the guys who did the game thought about it. So it's a little bit of more hours. I only spent that mode for 1 or 2 hours, not much. Then there is the multiplayer mode, which is really good. I was not expecting that. I was really thinking when they made that, I thought, oh, it's a gimmick, because they keep talking about it. And it's basically going to be like Portal 1, but with 2 players, which means an hour of gameplay and that's it. No, it's really not that. I played it with Chaos D1. It took us like 4 or 5 hours, but because we were really syncing fast, because we both finished the single player, so we were still in the motion to know how the game works. So it took us really not such a long time, because you're basically in a hub with 5 different stations, and each station got like 8 or 9 puzzles, and they use all the different game mechanics. And I was really surprised that the multiplayer mode even got an ending. So if you haven't played the game or the multiplayer, just so you know, you play the single player first, you got an ending, and then you play the multiplayer because it's a following, and you got an ending that means something, and that kind of open to a Portal 3, which I'm not too excited about, because I think usually the second game is where you improve stuff, and if it works and you make a sequel, the third game you're going to screw it up. So I don't know. But then again, I'm up to 17 hours of gameplay on Portal 2, so saying the game is short is not a valid argument. If you thought the single player was good and you don't want to play it, I don't know, but it's kind of weak too. You can't just give it a 1 out of 20 for that. One of the other excuses haters, well, people who don't like the game brought up, is the potato sack on Steam, saying it was useless, it was a cash-in, and you were basically just playing like 10 indie games because it had Portal in it or the voice of GLaDOS. Again, nobody forced you to buy that. I mean, I didn't, and I'm not missing on the game. So again, it's a weak argument. Then what else was brought up? Whitley. People say that Whitley was annoying. I have to agree at a certain degree, because in the beginning of the game where you get introduced to Whitley is very, very annoying. Well, to me, he got this Cockney accent or something like that, and it was really annoying. But then when the story goes on, you know why he is annoying. There's a purpose to that. And actually it was funny, and I thought it was really good because the game was mainly GLaDOS. I mean, anybody who played Portal 1 know GLaDOS is a cool character. And when they introduced Whitley, I was like, they're never going to top that, to top GLaDOS. And actually, GLaDOS and Whitley got a very good connection, I think. I really enjoyed that. So for me, it was a good game because the gameplay is good. I mean, you can do more simple than that. It's only forward, backward, left, right, and the portal, and then it's all about the surrounding and the mechanics. So on that part, you can say the game is bad because it's pretty effective. It's simple but effective, and they really used everything around them. The story, I liked it because it's not the kind of story, it's simple, it's pretty simple, you know, and it's not the kind of Inception story where you have to figure things out if you want to understand everything. No, the main story, if you play the game, it's pretty simple, and the narration is not forced on you. You don't have like huge exposition or wall of text to explain you what's going on. No, it's pretty simple. And then if you find the story interesting, you can have discussion with people, because I was talking to John, Chaos D1, and he showed me some stuff, like some Easter eggs that he found by walking a little bit in the game when he replayed the single mode. And actually there's some stuff that can make you assume more development to the story. And that's interesting because they were clever enough to not force you and say, hey, you see that twist? Pretty clever. No, it's not like that. It's very subtle, and you will discover them if you're interested in the game. So yeah, I enjoyed the game. It wasn't very difficult, but like I said, I was still in a Portal mood. So one advice I could give you if you're stuck in the game is basically look around you. When you enter a new test chamber, before doing anything, look around you. The ceiling, the walls, everything. And it maybe become clear. So I enjoyed the game. If you had any problem with what I said, please post it in the comment section. I want to discuss that, because for me it was a great game. Maybe not the best game I ever played, but it was still a great game. And what confuses me is more the people that really don't like it come with pretty weak argument to say why they don't. And I really want to hear someone give me a good opinion about why I didn't like the game. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you, no, you're wrong, it was good, but I'm really curious to know why some people didn't like the game. I'm not going to say it's the best game because I'm trying to not spoil the game for you if you haven't played it yet, but let's say there are 3 parts in the game. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't play it, I won't spoil you. But let's say for me there was 3 major parts in the game. A, B, C. Okay, it's different location. So for me it was part B. Let's call it underground, so you will know what I'm talking about if you play the game. Do not spoil. The underground part was weird because it's huge. You don't have a lot of direction, and sometimes I was lost, even though the game is pretty directive of where you're supposed to go. But I was lost because it's so huge. But like always, if you take a look around, you will find. But it's actually interesting to have this portal system in an environment that is so huge, because usually you're in small chambers. So it was kind of confusing. It was not really a good addition. I mean, it felt like more padding, because something happened at the end of part A that make you think the game is going to be over, and it's not. And then you fall in part B, and most of it, nothing happened. You just get dialogue, like pre-recorded message that give you some exposition with a really good voice actor, which is J.K. Simmons, which was really funny to me. But to me, it felt more like padding, because most of the time you will walk to a huge chamber to another and nothing will happen. You're just on a ledge. You walk for minutes and minutes. So part B was a little bit of a letdown because it was kind of padding, but after finishing the game, I understood why they did that. It was for pacing actually, but it was just a little bit more. That's why I would not give Portal 2 a perfect score. But for me, it was an enjoyable game. So please comment, say something if you agree with me or not, or if you just want to say why you didn't like the game with a proper opinion. I would really be happy to see that. So thanks a lot guys, and see you on the next video if you want to see it.